Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Well, I don't hear any answers. Okay, so my name is Miss Kitty. My last name is actually Demure, Kitty Demure, and I am here today to read to you a book. Doesn't that sound great? I'm sure you all love to hear stories, don't you? So I have a story to read to you guys, and I'm sure you will love it, okay? Now, before we start, we have to say the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? So put your right hand on your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you guys did such a good job. Okay? So today, the book that I am reading is called Donald Drains the Swamp. Okay, look at there. You see the swamp, and you see all the creatures within the swamp. These are the bad guys, okay? This is the good guy, Donald. Look at him. What does this mean? Red, white, and blue with stars. The United States of America, okay? So here we go. Donald Drains the Swamp by Eric Mattax and Jim Raglan. Okay, here we go. Donald Drains the Swamp. Here we go. A long, long time ago, there was a kingdom where everyone lived in caves. So they called them cavemen. You notice? The little girl caveman, a little woman, and look at all the men. And doesn't it look like a very diverse cross section of humans, doesn't it? Okay, here we go. But the king of all the cavemen went to live in a white castle in the middle of the swamp, far, far away. So because he never saw or talked with the people he ruled, he forgot all about them. And all the people were sad. Look how sad they are. And look at the king. Look how sad they look. Okay. Among them lived a famous caveman named Donald. Look at Donald. Donald loved to build caves. In fact, everyone wanted a cave built by Donald. Look at him. He's chiseling the letter D for Donald over the cave entrance. Okay. One day, a group of people came to Donald. They were very upset. Look at them. Come in, Donald said. Have a seat. What is on your mind? The king has forgotten all about us, they said. Donald nodded. I've noticed. We tried to talk to the king, but the creatures who live in the swamp take up all of his time. We try to get his attention, but they always stop us. Would you talk to the king and ask him to help us? I can try, said Donald. Look at them. They're really surprised. But you know you'll have to get past the swamp creatures. They're slippery and scaly and slimy. Look at Donald. I think I could handle them, Donald said. Maybe I'll wear gloves. So the next day, Donald traveled to the edge of the swamp. The first swamp creature he met was Lobiosaurus. Hello, Donald said. Hello, said the Lobiosaurus. I need to speak with the king, Donald said. The people he rules over needs his help. It doesn't work that way, said the Lobiosaurus. The king only helps those of us who live in the swamp. That's the way it's always been. Would you like to live in the swamp? Maybe I could arrange something. I don't think I would want to live in a swamp. Okay. No thanks, said Donald. I don't care for the swamp. How rude, said the Lobiosaurus. You should be more diplomatic. I'm very sorry, said Donald. I don't like you much either. Donald then tried speaking to other swamp creatures, but they were all the same, sad. Look at them. Look at this one with their arms crossed with their nose up in the air. Look at this one, looks angry. Look at this one. Looks kind of crazy, huh? Look at that one, looks kind of confused. And this one's pointing, but he doesn't look happy. Donald went back to see his friends. I'm sorry, Donald said, but it's even worse than I thought. What do you mean? Everybody asked. I mean, we're going to have to get drastic, he said. How drastic? Donald looked them in the eyes. We've got to drain the swamp, he said. Look at him. Doesn't he look confident? Everyone gasped. You shouldn't say that, somebody said. Yes, said another. The swamp creatures might get angry. Look they're kind of scared. Donald smiled. We've all been angry for a long time. Maybe it's their turn. But some of the people didn't believe he could do it. No one can drain the swamp, they said. It's impossible. A lot of the cavemen thought Donald was crazy, and they walked away muttering. Look at them. You shouldn't have said that, said Donald. When someone tells you something's impossible, I won't stop until it's done. That's called persistence, children. But others stuck around. Go, Donald, go, they said. You can do it. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Look at them. These people believe in him. Look how happy they are. But how would he do it? No one could figure out how. Look at them. They look kind of confused. They don't know how he's going to do it. But Donald knew how. He'd done many things like this before. It's simple, he said. We just need to make a way for the swamp water to escape. We'll dig a trench. It will be the best, biggest trench you've ever seen. It'll be huge. And we'll even come in below budget. Can you believe that? So the next day, Donald went to the edge of the swamp. He put down his club and picked up a shovel and began to dig. When all the swamp creatures saw him, they were furious. What do you think you're doing? They demanded. Are you crazy? Look at them. Donald smiled. I'm digging a trench. It'll be the best, biggest trench you've ever seen, and it will drain the swamp. You're mean, they said. We need this swamp. Where will we live? I can build you a nice cave near where I live. Lots of us live there, he said. He wants them to join him. They said. We can't stand the people who live outside the swamp. They're uneducated. Look at her. Uneducated. They're uncultured. And this one right here says, they're deplorable. That's a disgusting thing to say about a human being, isn't it? To call another human being deplorable. But Donald wasn't listening. He knew he had a job to do. So he just kept digging. Look at him. Just digging away, smiling. Then he noticed something he'd never seen before. The green color of the swamp water looked strange. It wasn't a normal swamp color at all. It was the color of money. In fact, it was money. The whole swamp was filled with money, as far as the eye could see. Now Donald knew why all the swamp creatures lived there. Oh, look at this big one right here. Then Donald saw something huge out of the corner of his eye. It was the biggest swamp creature of them all. It was a monster called George-osaurus. Now you've really done it, the swamp creature shouted. You've made the George-osaurus mad. Look at him. It looks like he's trying to stomp on him, doesn't it? Oh, look at all those people. Not as mad as you made us, came a shout. Donald turned around to see all the people who lived outside of the swamp. They'd come to help. Look at them. They're helping. They were all armed with shovels. Drain the swamp, they shouted. Drain the swamp. Suddenly, they were all digging alongside Donald. Because there were so many of them, the trench was dug quickly. And in a moment, the swamp water began to drain. Uh-oh. They don't look happy. The swamp creatures couldn't believe their eyes. They began to shriek in horror. Then they ran toward the trench. But they didn't stop. They just kept going, chasing the money flowing out of the swamp. Oh, even the king chased the money. Look. And the George-osaurus too. But the money flowed away so fast and so far that all of those chasing it were never seen again. All the people cheered. Look. Once the swamp was drained, everything looked different. It was beautiful. Flowers bloomed and trees grew. Look. But after all that, the people still couldn't talk to the king. What was the point of all they had done if they couldn't talk to him? Oh, look at the little girl. Then a little girl had an idea. What if Donald were our new king? She asked. Donald, everyone shouted, would you be our new king? Oh, look at him. He's like, what? And live in the castle? And let us talk to you when we have a problem? Look, he's thinking about it. You don't need a king, Donald said. You're free now. A king orders people around. But whoever leads a free people has to take his orders from them. You mean like a president? Sure. And if that's what you're looking for, I guess I'm your caveman. Everyone cheered. The people gave Donald a special outfit. That represented their newfound freedom. Look at his new outfit. So Donald and his family went to live in the castle. He did some remodeling, but he kept it under budget. I like his new outfit. Looks just like the American flag, doesn't it? And the people lived happily ever after. Bigly. Oh, look at them. They're all so happy now. The end. That's it, kids. And look, this is Eric Metaxas. He's the one who wrote the book. Wasn't that such a great story? That was such a wonderful story. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I had so much fun reading it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, I'll see you next time.